said?
9 minutes.
9 minutes after you. Yes, you're the older brother.
Yeah. Lifetime wisdom there.
Now, I want to give you a hypothetical here. Suppose you have a shooting victim, and the police respond after the victim is doing a little bit better, and they ask the victim, well, tell us what happened. And the victim says, well, someone came up to my car, shot into the car, hit me in the shoulder, hit me in the back, hit me in the neck. Miraculously, I survived, but I can identify, who the person is that pulled the trigger. And the police say, okay, you were shot, you know who it is, but shucks, you didn't tell us that this was an attempted murder, so we're going to have to let the person go. Is that how it works in our justice system, that unless victims or witnesses identify the legal theories of a case, we just let people off the hook? Is that how it works, Lieutenant Colonel Vindman?
Yes! That's exactly how it works. I watched my mother be manslaughtered in an ER by one ER nurse. She broke up to 15 laws. I talked to, over the course of several months, I talked to a couple dozen law enforcement, lawyers, political offices, whoever. Not once, the FBI, not once did anyone ever even hint that the ER nurse broke a law. She broke up to 15 laws. In California, never investigated. That's exactly how they do it. This is why the Democrats are so out of touch with everybody. As long as they care about undocumented migration, they're like a saint. But if you watch your mother, if you watch an ER nurse literally disconnect the oxygen monitor and the blood pressure monitor because the alarms are going off. She comes in, she reconnects, disconnects, reconnects. They go off again. So what does she do? She just disconnects them and walks out of the room like it never happened. Over the next hour, I monitored my mom. She started wheezing. She started getting worse. Absolutely refused to redocument. That's the scam. Do not document the condition. You have no lawsuit. You have no liability. And this is going on. It's pervasively going on. It's in all the books, the guidelines that are being taught to police, firefighters, ER. Law firms got their noses in and they just told them all, look, if you don't document it, it doesn't exist. And the lawyers play along. If they check the medical records and it's not in there, then it didn't happen. So my mom's wheezing never happened. Her decline on her bed in an ER room never happened because the nurse went so far to not document. Now I'm going to calm down just to show you that I'm actually a very calm person normally, but what this guy just did is so annoying. It just speaks to the disconnect between these guys in the suits and the heartland. You don't document something, it didn't happen. Now, this is the ER. West Hills Hospital. This happened in the West Hills ER in California. West Hills Hospital, spectacular. Amazing. I stayed overnight on behalf of my mom and my dad. I don't know, 50 nights over the course of 10 years' time. Maybe it was more. It was just heaven. I was so relieved I could be there. I helped them by being there for my parents, especially my mom. She didn't know where she was. One time she had pneumonia. She had some dementia. So me being there calmed her and let the nurses spend more time with other patients. And I had the gratitude of knowing I could help my mom get better by being there for her. It was a wonderful synergy. I have nothing but wonderful things to say about West Hills Hospital. But West Hills ER, my God, one ER nurse. That's all it took. Because when I pulled out a camera, when they were refusing to document her wheezing, I said, look, if you're not going to document her wheezing, I'm going to pull out a camera to document that you're not documenting her wheezing. This was a fake. I asked to see the supervisor nurse. This ER nurse sent in another nurse pretending to be a supervisor nurse. She came at me and said, you're refusing to leave so we can see other patients. And I'm like, I thought I was going to have a conversation with you. So I pulled out my camera and all I said was, I'm going to document that you're refusing to treat my mother when she has wheezing. This nurse, this fake supervisor nurse, trotted back out to the other nurse who sent her in and yelling HIPAA violation the whole way. She put her hand up to her face, yelling HIPAA violation. The other ER nurse called a code gray on me. And suddenly I hear like a dozen feet running down the stairs, the hallway to our room. I thought I was going to jail. I thought I'd broken, I don't know what I thought. I didn't do anything. But when you have 6 nurses staring at you and a security guard and all demanding you erase the video you shot, and you're telling them, look, I don't care about the video. Would you just check my mom's wheezing? And they all refused. And this went on for like half an hour. I begged them, would you just check? She got worse when she was on her bed. She started wheezing. I brought her in because she had pneumonia. I knew my mom so well. I'd kept her out of the hospital for 3 3/4 years. And now, overnight hospital, I should say. And now that we needed a documentation of what was going on, they were refusing to do it. Finally, they grabbed the camera from me, erased it, and then they dumped us, the 91-year-old woman and me, with pneumonia in the rain on the curb, West Hills ER Hospital on March 10th, 2018. I'm not going to let it go. Because what this jerk just did is exactly how the system works. What he just said is exactly how the system works. They won't tell you what laws were broken, so nothing happened. It took me 8 months. Did you know I learned about incitement to lawlessness of others, which is what this ER nurse did when she called the code gray. Because she got a bunch of nurses to gang up on me who didn't know what was going on. And of course they're going to follow her because she's the lead nurse there. I'm just some guy in a room trying to see that my mom's taken care of. I had to watch Star Trek. I heard this term, incitement of lawlessness to others. I looked it up. It's a violation of the law. EMTALA, E-M-T-A-L-A, EMTALA violation. That's a violation of the law. Aged and vulnerable abuse. They kept us in that room, barricaded, blockaded, so we could not leave. They would not let us call anybody. They would not call anybody. We were imprisoned there until they assaulted me and grabbed the camera from me and erased the footage. I told all this to everybody, to the local political offices, to the local police. I told it to FBI. I've got it's unbelievable. The amount of people I told, and not once did any of them say, well, if that happened, that could have been a violation of this, this, and this. I had one person actually tell me, you know what, this has obviously really hurt you a lot. Like, why don't you just take the rest of the day and go see a Dodgers game? I mean,